Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers. Yes, he is here. JoyToy, Warhammer 40k, the Dark Angels Primarch, Lionel Johnson. Today is Saturday, December the 23rd. 2 days before Christmas, but it feels like Christmas Day because this came today. Let's get a look at this box. Does look nice. It looks fantastic on the picture on the front. That's not artwork, that's the actual picture of the toy. Very, very good. If I compare this box to a Primarch of the Ultramarines, Rabote Guilliman, you can see that the box for the Lionel Johnson slightly higher, maybe about 2-3 millimeters, but look at the depth difference. That is much deeper, and the width appears to be about 2 millimeters more, so it's a much bigger box. We'll compare the Primarchs later when I've opened it. Side, just the name. On the other side, and the back, we see the contents. So he comes with the sword, the two watchers, I think, the shield. He has 3 alternate heads, and he's got the 2 extra pairs of hands and 3 bases for him and the 2 other little guys with him. He looks great. Let's just hope that the actual figure lives up to these these painted ones that are for the publicity shots. I am looking forward to this. Right, I'm going to actually do a quick unboxing on camera because this is a pickup box as opposed to from the top. This will slide out. But before I do that, please consider joining the Patreon link in the top right now. Get to see all the content early, exclusive content as well from time to time, plus there are prize draws and competitions, including one happening in January. Okay, so let me see about this box. I've taken the plastic off, except it's still taped, which might be an idea to help remove that, to help get inside. 1 cut, 2, any on this side? Yeah. Okay, tape has been cut. There is movement. Okay, let's try it. It is quite a tight fit, fortunately, or unfortunately, if you're paying for shipping. It's actually quite heavy, which means it does slide by itself. Okay, come on, you can do this. 5 minutes later, and we're nearly there. And now we've got that last part. There we go. It is open. Dum dum dum. Appears to be in 2 layers. So first layer, we can see him. His 3 heads, and that's just a finger hole to take out. It's a plastic covering, bag covering to take out this layer, which is quite thick, to be fair. Whoa. And then the last layer, we have the 2 watches. His sword is huge. His hands, the shield, and is that a mace there, I think, as well? Very, very cool. Okay, I'm going to set this up and we'll get our first look. I'll be back in an instant. Do stay tuned. And here he is. Good news. He looks amazing. That face sculpt, those eyes, it almost looks like it's real. Amazingly done. There's edge highlighting. You can see that particularly on his sort of lower legs there. We'll look a bit closer in a moment. There is some inking. It could be some more, but there is some there. He does look great. Bad news, I managed to break him. My own fault. I'll show you that in a second. Well, not break him. I broke something very small, which is a very easy fix. It's not a problem. It's not a JoyToy's problem. That was my problem, being a bit too enthusiastic. But we'll look at that a bit later on as well. He looks great. Let's look at accessories. So he comes with the 2 pairs of alternate hands. He gets the obligatory, you can see the highlighted there, highlighted knuckles and whatever on his fists, the obligatory fists, and the almost obligatory now sort of open hands, which are both left and right as well. His helmeted head looks very cool. Is that better out this light? And maybe if I brighten up this way, it might be a bit better. Have a quick look. His helmeted head looks pretty damn cool as well, has to be said. The hooded head, I call this hooded head 1. What's the ninja head, maybe? Get a better focus there. It's pretty cool. It may be better that way. And then with the hooded head too, without the mask. Yeah, that is looking quite creepy. He's looking at you there. Beautifully sculpted. Who knew that Ben Kenobi was secretly the Lion L. Johnson? So Alex Guinness almost going on there. And then the shield is not up on him, obviously. Needs inking on that front, but the details are great. It does look fantastic. The back looks great as well. The fact you got some paintwork inside is great. A bit more would be nice. And you see it's just a simple rubbery over the arms hook, but don't bend that too much because that looks like it could snap if not careful, and a handle to hold. Okay, so the things that I think are wrong so far. I say so far. It's only sort of had it in my hand for like 3 minutes. The watcher, the guy on the right, is he a watcher? I can't remember his name. He's going to overbalance very, very easily. He just wants to fall over to his left, our right. Very easily. They should have had him slightly wider on the base. That's pretty much it. No, but that's it for him. Next one, his sword and scabbard are massive, but the problem is the scabbard is either too big or the sword is too small. So look at the size of that. If I take that out, if I put it back to here, surely the sword should fit down at least to maybe there. But the sword actually only go to there. So the sword is too small for the scabbard, or the scabbard is too big for the sword. But it does look nice. And in fact, you've got a little strap. You could put it. Can you put it over his shoulder? You have to pop his arm out for that. Possibly. But that does look nice. Okay. So let's get a close look. We start with these little guys first, or let's do this scepter mace thingy as well. Just got to pop it out of their hands. Not too difficult to do. Again, we need some inking on here, I think. But there is some highlighting. You see some different greens on the handle, so it does look pretty cool there. So very, very nice looking accessory. So I do like that. And then let's look at these guys here. This is the guy that holds the sword. You know what, if JoyToy wanted to get like a 11 out of 10, they should make these guys animated, or not animated, articulated. That would have been amazing. It's lacking the detail underneath that we saw with Supreme Master Azrael on his one. His one had the boots and the grip underneath, but still it's very nice and very atmospheric, and some good shading on the rope going around his waist there, and on the sort of sensor. Next guy. Again, we're lacking detail underneath, and that really wants to be slightly wider on the cloak, so he doesn't overbalance too much when he's got the mace or the staff or the, I don't call it a wand or whatever it's called, the scepter that he holds, but a good edge highlighting on the purple we can see going around there. But again, there's nothing in the face, just a blank, empty void, which is okay. And now for the main attraction, the big man himself. I should point out there are 3 bases like it's on the box. But they appear to be maybe a bit smaller, not quite sure. Maybe because he's so big it makes everything look so small. So let's bring him close. Look at that face. That is scary realistic. Really, that just looks amazing. You see the edge highlights. It's a bit messy on the front there, but it's okay. Lovely edge highlighting on his boots there, his legs, the side. It's a bit too shiny on the black for my liking, the writing. His cloak, which has got different colours on, looks great. The inking on that sort of, I guess it's a lion, on him looks great. The backpack comes pre-fitted, so I don't know if it comes off. I might have a little try later. No, it does come off. The side looks great. There's some inking on the line there, but not enough. Let me come back around. So, what did I break? Well, I saw that this strap for his pistol was actually like this. And it's got movement. Maybe it comes out. Maybe the pistol comes out. The pistol is not. The pistol is one piece. So I actually snapped, you can see, that little strap. So I can just put a dab of glue and glue that back. That's not a big issue. It's a tiny thing. It doesn't affect my figure whatsoever. he looks fantastic. And here, he's actually on his heels and his cloak is helping him stand up. But he does stand up very nicely by himself as well. Let's get a look at his articulation, top to bottom. Yeah, let's go backwards first as well. So, mate, does his backpack actually come off? It does. Oh, it's a square peg. Looks pretty cool. Even got some edge highlighting on the back there. Okay, let's push that back in. Could you remove his cloak? No, the cloak looks like it's part of him. Okay, so I'm digressing. Articulation. So the nozzles and these parts on the back, wing parts, they do articulate. Then it's going to be his head. Forwards, backwards, left to right. He can turn. And it appears to be the standard fitting, but he's got an extra part here for neck articulation, which should be a standard fitting. Check the... Well, that's a different fitting. It's a great big hole on that. And all of them is going to be a great big hole, so I'll take that back. So is this head an easy? Yeah, easy to take off. There's a ball, but the ball doesn't do much. It just fits over that onto the cylindrical shape underneath. Okay, shoulders. This is where we get a bit scared. How good or bad are the shoulders? They were slightly better on Robote. They're slightly better on Rob than the standard Space Marines. On him, he is getting better than the Space Marine, but not high enough. And this one is better again because he hasn't got this part here to eliminate. So he's getting to almost flat on his right. It's not bad. They'll go all the way around. Just watch out for... I say they will do, but he's catching on his sort of cloak part here, so be careful about that. He has a bicep twist. His bicep bend, though, you're not going to get tighter than that because the forearm protector catches onto the actual bicep. So he's getting there slightly under 90 degrees. A little bit disappointing. This hand will be the same. This hand is actually a bit better. This one's about 90 degrees. The hands are on the double barbell, so he gets moved all directions. The shoulders, he does have the butterfly joint, which I failed to mention just now, which is good. Trunk. There's a trunk there. Okay, so a trunk is stuck. He's moving from the waist, but there is a trunk joint. Am I wrong? Let's see if I can get this to... Okay, trunk. He can turn. Small forwards, backwards, small side to side. Waist can turn. Forwards, backwards, side to side. Backpack popped off. It's not the tightest to fit, so that's okay. Legs. Cloak's going to impede articulation quite a bit, but not bad for a big guy. Forwards, pretty good. Backwards, pretty good. In fact, backwards is excellent, I want to say. There should be a thigh twist from the insert, where there is. He's got a double kneecap, or is it single? It appears to be a double kneecap, but with a cloak in the way, he's going to get quite limited, 90 degrees. There you go. You can get more than 90 degrees actually, if you pinch the cloak. And the kneecap is not too ugly. Those big sort of knee, I call them pads, but knee armor there does help. And then his foot should be all directions. Let's get a look. So he's got the turn, he's got the swivel, he's got tippy toe, he's got dorsiflexation, and he should have the toe articulation too. So he's got decent articulation. Let's get him standing semi-nicely. And get the waist and trunk sorted out. There we go. Big boy. Speaking of which, let's have a look at his size. Let's get my trusty tape measure. Maybe I'll push his legs slightly closer together, make him a bit taller again. Okay. So size like this. To the top of his head, he is about 18.5 maybe. To the very top of the actual toy is about 20. It's about 21 perhaps, or just over 21. Big boy. So let me just get his guys set up again very quickly. sword under, and then over. Let's push that in a little bit. I'll do it the other way around, in fact. No, this way is fine. Under and over. There we go. I'll get him holding the sword in a second. Let's get this mace guy there again. Or scepter, or whatever it is. This one's a bit more difficult to put in than the actual sword, but it's not hard. Just got to figure out which way to bend what. Okay. So that's now in. Is he going to stand up? No, he doesn't want to stand up. Okay. Looks good. Let's get his shield on as well. So let me just, if you know what, let me pause this and quickly set him up. I'll change around to the helmeted head and I'll be back in an instant. Stay tuned. Here he is, looking rather cool. I will zoom out a little bit. Let's put in Master Lazarus as well, get an idea. So doing comparison now. Let's move this slightly closer and this one slightly closer. So put Master Lazarus this side and like, yeah, he looks like a completely different toy line. So small comparison. And then Grandmaster Azrael. Look at his little guy. See, his little guy's got the actual boots. His little guy's actually a lot smaller than the other ones. Let's stick him there. And they've got the makings of a great Dark Angels leadership display. Very nice looking. Oh, just a realised got that. Oh, they've got a different articulation on the shoulders. We need to look at that as well. I've not just noticed that. Very cool. So we'll come back to the comparison in a moment when I bring out the other big Primarch. Let's just get a look at this articulation. I just realised on the pauldron when I was swapping things around that move. Didn't realise before. Let's get a look at that. So, they've got a joint inside there that really moves, and so this one hopefully has that as well. I don't know if it does. Yeah, this one has it too, but it doesn't seem to move as far. So both have a joint inside. It's going to give a greater range of motion on the arm. So there we go. Now it's getting flat easily. I wish they could do that same thing for the smaller Space Marines too. That's fantastic. Now, I do wish that this gun could be taken out. That was just me being too enthusiastic. I should have checked the gun first and saw that as one piece, and not just look at this flap. That was a bit clipped. That was a bit loose. They could have done that, but never mind. Okay, so now let's get a comparison with Robote. So let's see. Let's move him over slightly. Let's get him here. You can see that the line is actually quite a bit bigger. He is quite a bit bigger indeed. His weight is also not straight. I've got his trunk I've just seen not straight, hence why he's looking a bit strange at the moment. That's because the trunk is a bit stiff and hard to turn on my one, at least anyway. Let's get that a bit sorted out now, and then straight in there, and are we there? Just about. Okay, so now he's going to look a bit taller. Got his legs closer together and his trunk is straighter. Now it looks like he's leaning on one side. Okay. Both very big boys, both very dominating. To give you an idea, I use a Marvel Legends Death Dealer who I keep on my desk just for comparisons. He is a 1/12 scale and he is dwarfed by these guys. These guys are massive. If I get the Body 1 Invicta Warsuit Pilot Ultramarines, so it's one of the early releases, he is dwarfed. And if I get a Annex Tenon 79 quite recently released sort of cyborg android robots, again same scale, and they're almost double the size. She is dwarfed again. He is very big. He does look awesome. I think I prefer him over Robote Guilliman, Robbie G. I think the details look better. Robbie G for me is almost OTT. And then also, I think the highlighting on the lion looks better than does on Robbie G. Robbie G needs a lot more inking to make him sort of pop around the gold areas and whatnot. But both are fantastic. Let's put Robbie G out the way. And now let's get his sword, his undersized sword or oversized scabbard. Will it fit in his hand? The hand's got a lot of give. In fact, I might just pop the hand out and do this off camera. It's a lot easier. The hands have got a lot of give, which is fantastic. They're not using that super tough sort of rubbery things they've used before, making it difficult to stretch fingers and put weapons in. What they're using here is actually really quite nice. And he does hold his shield well, has to be said. Let's get a sort of a semi-action pose. Normally with your leg forwards opposite to the weapon arm, if you've got like a sword and shield sort of combo to get a nice powerful strike. Stands up so easily. Let's get that adjusted slightly more. He is such a big guy, has to be said. What a great release by JoyToy. Fantastic for the Warhammer 40k fans and collectors out there. He is such a lovely figure. Even if you're not into action figures, just having this on your shelf, if you're a 40k fan, even if you're not a 40k fan, will be great, I think. Just really add a lot of gravity to your collection. Okay, this is Awesome Toy signing out, saying please like, share, subscribe, check out the Patreon. I'll see you next video soon. Stay happy, keep collecting. Bye bye.